Hello and welcome back to our Power Apps or Project Management series. This is part 3 and today we will be learning about search and filter in Power Apps, and we will also learn about delegation in Power Apps, which is a very important topic. So let's get started. Let's start with a recap of our last video. In our last video, we basically created a form control allows our users to view, edit, and add new tasks. So basically they come here. If they want to view the task details, they can click here. They can review each task details. If they want, they can edit. For example, they can change the status, they can change the duration, and save. They have also ability to add new tasks. So now users need to have ability to search or filter tasks based on task name, task ID, or team member, and of course task status. So let's start with adding text input control, so that way we can allow users to search the tasks based on task ID and task name. So I will exit. So I will go ahead and inside I will click this container, and inside this I will add a text input. I will bring that here, maybe make a little bit smaller. And immediately I will go ahead and rename my text input control. That way, whenever we use text input control for search and filter inside our gallery, that way we can easily identify our control. So I will click and rename. There are different conventions you can use it. I will just use text input and then call this search by title and ID. So that's it. So there are multiple things that we need to do here. For example, default value, I don't want text input here. So if you click, you can see there is a text here. If I add something here, you see it's remaining here. I don't need this here. I will delete this. I will come back, select the text input again, and default value, I will simply delete this. There is another property here. It says hint text. So this basically allows users to see where they can search task ID and task name. So I will simply add search by title and ID. So now we have this hint text here. There is another property here. It's called clear button. So whenever users type something or search something, they have now ability to clear. So border, I want to make this one and change the color more like this color. This is good. Let's connect our gallery to text input control so that we can start searching by task, ID, and title. Select my gallery, and here I will say search task list, and I will use this text input. I will say text input search by title and ID dot text title. So here I'm saying I want my gallery retrieve data, whatever I put inside here, and bring that information from my title column. So if I play now, I can come here, I can type, for example, create a risk plan. Now you can see it retrieves the information based on the input I put here. And I can, of course, go ahead and clear this. But notice we have a warning sign here. We have here and here as well. If you hover over, it says delegation warning. The search part of this formula might not work correctly on large data sets. And the same way, if you come here, if you click get help, and here it describes the issue. Again, even though you have delegation warning, your app will still work. But this is a warning that saying whatever data limit you have, if that exceeds above 500 or 2000, the search function will not retrieve the data that you are looking for. So that's very important. And let's talk about delegation now. So delegation is about basically whatever your function or query you put here, Power Apps assign this task to the underlying data source, in this case the SharePoint, and SharePoint goes ahead and search the input that you put here. Because of the delegation, it can only do in certain limit. So if that's the case, we call this non-delegable query. And you can learn more about it here, understanding delegation. And one of the important parts here is delegable data sources. Again, if you are going to work with large data set, then use more robust databases such as SQL Server, Dataverse, Salesforce, and etc. And if I click SharePoint, it shows these are the functions or operations that SharePoint supports. So if you put this as a query, this will retrieve the data that we are looking for. And if I come back here, let's check our settings. Under general, there is this data row limit. This is the limit currently. Increasing this number might impact the performance of your application. We can increase this until 2000, but if I change this, for example, 2001, this will not work. It says this value needs to be between 1 and 2000. So that's why we can have maximum 2000 here. I will keep this 2000, close. So delegation is very important topic. If you want to learn more about it, I suggest visiting Shane Young's channel on YouTube. He provides a really in-depth explanation of delegation, and you can learn more about it. I'm going to share Shane Young's video in the description for your reference. And hey, while you are there, don't forget to hit subscribe on his channel. So I will go ahead and use different function. I will start with filter, our task list, comma. I will start with is blank, my text input control dot text, or text input control dot text in title, and close the bracket. So even though we use filter is delegable, but there are other non-delegable functions here or operators. For example, in is not delegable. So that's why you will get this warning. So if I play now, this will work. For example, as you can see, it brings information from our title column. But if I put, for example, 4, which is task ID, it will not bring. So to do that, I will come here and I will extend this code a little bit. Now I will say or is blank, my text input control dot text, close the bracket, or my text input control dot text in ID. Again, if I play, now if I put 4, this will bring task ID 4. I can reset this and I can type 12, and this way we can search information. So if you don't want to see this warning sign here, you can come to app, and on start, you can create a collection, clear collect. I will call this call task ID. So this will create a collection. This is the name of my collection, and this is my table that my collection pull data from. Now if I come back, I can format text, and instead of task list, I can put here my collection. Now the delegation warning is gone, but we still have delegation. So I just changed it to my collection because if you don't want to see it, but overall the functionality is still the same. You will not get the records that after your 2000 limit. So if I play here, again, same way, I can type the task ID, or I can type, for example, user input. This will filter the gallery based on the input I put it here. In any task management application, users, they want to have ability to search or filter tasks based on their name. Select my container, and here I'm going to insert a combo box. And I will connect this to my task list. Bring that here. I will select my combo box, and here I will say choices, my task list dot assigned to. In our SharePoint, we call this column assigned to. So if I play now, you can see this is the combo box, but right now it brings like different information. So I will come back and select my combo box. Here, there is edit. Instead of claims, I will click display name and search by display name. I will save. If I preview the app, if I come here, now I can click and select the team member. If you don't see all the team members, you can simply look for them. For example, this is me. Let's connect our combo box to our gallery. Same way that I did for our text input control, I will come here, rename my combo box assigned to. I will select my combo box, and on change property, I will start with if is not blank, my combo box name, assigned to selected items, then I will create a local variable. Update context. This is the way we create local variables. And main difference between local variable and global variables, local variable scope is only for screen. So you can use this variable within this screen. If you have another screen, you won't be able to use this variable. So I will open parentheses, then curly bracket. I will name my local variable. I will call this var assigned to column. I will use my combo box assigned to dot selected display name. That's the way that we use our combo box to search our team members. So I will close curly bracket and parentheses, comma. I will create another local variable. So whenever users filter tasks based on their name and they click to view task details, I want when they come back, that filter stays the same so that they don't have to go ahead and filter it again. So I will say update context, open parenthesis, curly bracket, var filter assigned to. I will select my combo box assigned to dot selected items and close the curly bracket and parenthesis, comma, and then I will say update context var assigned to blank. And I will also close this. Format text. Combo box has a default selected items. I will select this and I will set this to var filter assigned to. Let's connect our combo box to our gallery. To do that, I will select my gallery and extend this. After this first query, I will put comma. I will say is blank var assigned to or assigned to column display name in var assigned var filter assigned to. We will use another variable that we just created, comma display name. Now if I play, I can come here and I can select team member, and this way this gallery will be filtered based on the name here. Right now, if you notice, we have multi-choice. We don't want that. So to do that, let's come back, collapse. I will choose my combo box, come here. And there is a button here. It says allow multiple select. I will turn this off. Also inside the text, let's come back here. I can, if I unselect this, you can see it says find items. I will select this, come here advanced and look for text. This is input text placeholder. I will select team member. I really like using icons here. I can come here. If you use Microsoft Edge, click emoji and symbols. All right, we have one here. I will click this, copy this, come back to our Power Apps and paste it here. Make sure that this value or text is between double quotes, otherwise it will not work. So now if I click, now you can see this says select team member and I can come here. If you don't see the team member, you can type here, for example, Rafsan. I don't have any task now. I can exit. I can look for Alex. And this filters the gallery based on the selected team member. Another way that we can filter our gallery is based on the status. So I will come back to the edit mode and select my container. And here I will go ahead and add drop down. I will bring that here, make it a little smaller. Right now items is just drop down sample. I will make this choices, my task list dot status. Again, this name comes from our SharePoint column header. So if I play this, you can see these are the values we have. So I will also select our drop down control, and in the advanced mode I will say allow empty selection. I will make it true. I will go ahead and also create a variable here. I will come back here on change, open parenthesis, is blank. Oh, I forgot to rename our drop down. So let's collapse this. I will rename this to, I usually use drop down and call this status. Now I will select our drop down control again, is blank, drop down status dot selected text, and close a parenthesis, comma. Let's actually make this little bigger. I will create a variable here, update context, open parenthesis and curly bracket. I will say var status column drop down status dot select the text dot value, and close the curly bracket and parenthesis and comma, and one more time update context curly bracket and set our var status to blank. And one more time, format text. Perfect. Now I will also come here. There is a default property here. I will set this to var status. So next step is connecting our drop-down control to our gallery. I will select my gallery again, extend this, and after this I will place comma. Let's delete this. I don't know why it does this, but this time is blank, var status, or I will say status. So status column is a choice, so that's why I will say value in our var status. So let's collapse this. If I play, now I can come here and say, for example, complete. This will filter our tasks based on the status. If I actually click here, you can see this is the task details. If I come back, my gallery stays the same. We did this on purpose because team members can have multiple in progress records or tasks. Every time they go ahead and update or edit the tasks, when they come back, we don't want our gallery reset by default. Otherwise, they need to go ahead and filter again. So that's little time consuming and it's not a good user experience. That's why we did. And also maybe we can come here. We can change. I will make this one and I will set this the same color. For status column, as you can see, we don't have text here. What we can do here, I will go ahead and insert text label, place it here. Make sure that if you do this, your text label does not overlap with the chevron, otherwise you won't be able to select. So here I will say select status. You see now it's on here, but it's kind of mixed. So what I will do, I will select my label on visible. I will say is blank, our drop down status dot selected dot value, close the bracket. Now if I play, for example, you don't see the text value here, deselect, and now it appears. So I will come here, add it here, perfect. Now it's kind of the same. So what else do we need? We need to add a button so that we can reset our combo box and drop down. So I will come back here, add button. I'll bring that here. Perfect. On the properties, I will call this reset. And reset on select property, I will say there is a function called reset, and we will type one by one, reset my text input, search by title and ID, close, semicolon, reset my combo box, assign to, semicolon, reset my drop down, semicolon, and I will say update context, assigned to blank. So this will make it blank whenever we click reset, semicolon. I will actually copy this, paste it here. We have one variable called filter. Let's actually delete var filter assigned to, and the other one is going to be var status. Perfect. Now if I click, I can come here, I can select team member, select the status. If I click reset, this will reset. Same way with the text input control. But we don't want to see this button here if the user doesn't select anything, right? So I can come back here and select this visible property. I will come here and say is not blank, combo box assigned to selected display name, because we are searching or filtering our gallery based on the display name of the user. Close. Then we will put or is not blank, our text input control dot text or is not blank, open the parenthesis, and this time drop down status dot selected dot value. Close the bracket. Let's save it and preview the app. Now you don't see the reset button, but if I select the team member here, now it appears here. Or here we can reset it. We can also go ahead and sort our starter due date. So to do that, what I will do, I will add a sort icon here, place it, maybe let's do due date, but you can do the same for start date too. Come here and change the color to white. On select, I will say update context, open parenthesis, then curly bracket. I will say sort descending, maybe 1, then sort descending, close the curly bracket, parenthesis. So now I will select my gallery again, come here, let's make some space. I will say sort by columns, open parenthesis. At the end of the parenthesis here, I will put comma, enter. What we want to sort, we are going to sort our due date. It's between quotes, comma, if, open parenthesis, sort, we have here sort descending 1 variable, comma, sort order ascending, sort order descending, close the parenthesis, and one more time. So now if I play, for example, I can click here and this will sort oldest and newest tasks due date. We can format the text. We need one more action. So I will come here, home screen, and on visible property, we need to add some information. I will say reset my combo box, semicolon, and hit enter, reset my text input, semicolon, reset. Same thing for our drop down. And I will also say update context var assigned to blank. Semicolon. I will say clear collect our collection task list. Semicolon. Then I will say if open parenthesis is blank or is not blank, var filter assigned to comma var status, then update context, set this var status blank. And close it. Save it. This code is used to reset controls and context variables, refresh our data, and update status based on assigned user when the screen becomes visible. This helps ensure that the screen is always in a clean state when a user navigates to. If you want this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more helpful tips and tricks. Your support helps me a lot and inspires me to create more content for you. Also, if you have any questions or thoughts about today's topic, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. Our next video will be about automation using Power Automate. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next video.